Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna try to make it as brief as I can, but given that it's an update, oh man, it could carry on a little bit, particularly when getting to all of the updates that have been going on. So been a little bit quiet here lately, and the main reason is we just were tending to the transition of adding the sand, removing lots of corals, also removing the fox face, and just moving rock from the sump, adding sand into both systems, essentially stripping down the prop tank from coral, adding rock from the sump into it, and creating the mangrove lagoon, which we'll show at the end of this update, and I'll show you kind of how that's working out. And as a result, dinos did show up, and some of the stringy dinos impacted some corals. Some corals were pissed off for real. Some of my smooth skin, particularly the thin branching corals. But as you can see, things have returned to back to normal on the reef, and everything is looking pretty damn good. So I'm pretty satisfied with everything so far, due to the fact that so many biological shifts were made, as well as chemistry, due to the fact that a lot of coral mass was removed from the system. So that has changed my mineral uptake. A lot of things are transitioning, but I think we've kind of met that balance. And as you can see, the sand bed is free and clear. The only nuisance really that's on the reef right now is bubble algae, which you can see it's starting to build up on some of these rocks. Again, you can see some tips of some of these corals were impacted, but again, nothing that's gonna break the bank. So with all these changes being made, I did anticipate that I would see some sort of funk arrive on the reef, and I treated, basically I just used rebiotic. I only used maybe an eighth of a teaspoon a day, and just kind of shook it up and dumped it in the reef. And I suspended carbon dosing for about 3 or 4 days. I cut the blues down, so I was just down to blues only for about 4 or 5 days, and really just those changes right there really settled things in. And we're just back to normal. I haven't tested nutrients. I did want to bring alkalinity from 7.7 up to 8.3, which I did. And so we're sustaining that now. But again, I had to make some changes on the Bubble Magus doser to accommodate less mineral dosing per day. So things are, again, looking pretty snazzy on the reef. And I don't freak out over nuisance things anymore. I anticipated dinos were going to show up. I know a lot of people probably would have broke out UVs. Listen, I think the more you try to deal with it, the worse it gets. So I just I looked at it as, light source needed to be cut. So I just really went to blues only on the reef breeders. I cut the T5s out, and I cut out the Orphec OR3 bars, even though they are more of a deep blue. And then I cut the cool blue, the red, the greens, the whites, and even the majority of UV, and only ran the deep blue. And I ran around 50%. And did that for 3 days, and then I ran the 2 T5s over the mangroves and the other system at normal pace to hopefully induce the dinos and shift them into that system, which never really happened. And so that system has never really had any kind of an issue at all, as far as any problematic stuff goes. So only this system here. Now they are connected. And one would think, particularly since there is no filter sock, that you would have thought, how did that happen? But yeah, it's just how things worked. And you know, once the bacteria kicked in, once the kind of the light cycle being transitioned, you know, to just blue only, it broke them. And then I added in a little bit of a cleanup crew to sort of finish up the job. I've always been a proponent of Mexican red leg hermit crabs. So I added about 30 or 40 of them guys. And then I've added some Nasserias, some Ciriths. Just kind of wanted to do a little bit of an update on the cleanup crew. And I added a conch into the other system. And so yeah, we're just booting sort of the cleanup crew, which I think is necessary in any reef system. And you can see that things are looking really darn good on the reef. Again, just a little bit of bubble algae, and I'll just start picking that off. I did lose color on the Bugatti, as you can see right there, but it'll come back. Give it about 2 or 3 more days, and I should see it get its full steam ahead. And yeah, so that's it on this system. So let's go out and take a peek at the mangrove lagoon in the reef room. All right, so now we're in the reef room. You can see that's the wall of shame with the horrible wiring that was pointed out to me before. Oh, I digress. And then the mangrove lagoon. As you can see, there is a nice chunk of Greg Hiller's aquamarine jewel in there, and that one will go to RT Wookie, my boy Cole, and Matt. Matt might take it today. So Cole, if you're watching this, man, you need to get with him. He's got all sorts of goodies for you. But yeah, look, guys, just two T5 bulbs running here, 6000K bulbs. Those are Ushio cool white bulbs, and yeah, you know, little peninsula design. The mangroves came in, and so far they're looking okay. They came in looking absolutely beautiful. I am having a slight senesce on these leaves right here, and so I'm kind of keeping an eye. I am actually misting these guys twice a day at this point to just try to hopefully settle them in. The light is sitting pretty high over the mangroves as to not, cause any more damage. But you can see the rock design here is pretty cool. There's a bubblegum digi hanging out in there as well. And then you can see I sort of I built up in the center here. I took some extra rock and used some of that crushed coral to reinforce the root zone. And you can see right there's that fighting tiger conch. Cool, huh? Yep. And so yeah, this is the reef room. Not looking too good right now, as far as a little messy in here, but that's okay. It's no big deal. It's only me, guys. It's not like I'm entertaining out here. Just chilling out. So yeah, so that's the mangrove lagoon, and I'm thinking about maybe putting up against that rock structure right there. I'm thinking of planting some sort of maybe I'm still leaning on the prolifera and trying to keep this bed out here just open. And when that coral's gone, it's going to look pretty kick-ass. So yeah, I'll probably have Matt take that out today, just so I can get my structure the way I want it, and I want that coral to do well. So it's only getting lit by 2 T5s. I mean, it's doing really well, but it's coloring down. And that's just a squirt bottle, a mister, if you will. With the mangroves, it's important, to sort of, you see, it's RODI, so I'm not worried about, contamination. But anytime I'm out here, I just sort of walk by and remind myself to mist those. That's pretty much it, guys. The system is so damn basic now, and that is the design. There is no filter sock, a big protein skimmer. I'm only using 2-part from ESV, and just some trace, and I'm still carbon dosing until these mangroves begin to do their thing and the macroalgae start to kick in and the biology does its thing, and then I'll back off all the carbon dosing. And I'll still periodically do bacteria dosing. I think it is good for the corals. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for following along. Nothing much to really look out here in the reef room, but yeah, I think this is, it's pretty cool when you walk up to my house and you look through the blinds. This is kind of like a cool little image that you just see, just this like mangrove poking out of the water, out of that shallow system with that T5 elevated way over it. And I just think this is like, it is a pretty cool look as you're walking up my driveway to see this. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it. And I'm actually spending more time out here again, so that's cool too. All right, y'all, thanks for following along. And again, long-winded, but you know how it goes. It's just one of them updates. Take care.